Oh my goodness, look who's in here. Hey, everybody.
It finally worked. It worked. It worked.
Bless up, bitches. We finally did it. I don't know what I did differently. It was all the same. Hey, Delta Wave. Hey, Lincoln. Hey, Elise. Hey, Virginia. Hey, Riley. Look at all these blessed souls up in here on this beautiful Sabbath to some morning, afternoon. Good afternoon, y'all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat.
Sabbath to some.
Can y'all hear us loud and clear? Give us a thumbs up. Give us a, if you can hear us loud and clear, give a little thumbs up on the old thumbs up thing.
I'm afraid I think y'all I missed some blessings, bitches. I think I missed some suggestions that were coming up in the Instagram. So if y'all can put any of them here in the chat. Oh hell yeah.
So,
All right.
So let's talk for a little bit while folks pile into the old live. Hey Heather. Here's the chat. Holly, if you want to read that.
I'll start collecting suggestions.
And all right, so we're gonna get some suggestion for the live improv. We're also gonna be playing bingo. There is a link that will be forthcoming right now, if I can find the bingo link. And the way we do bingo is, hey Kristen, the way we play bingo is Virginia has so kindly made a cool bingo card that is mega centric, and today we're playing hopefully for a climax t-shirt if we can get enough people up in this piece, and that's gonna be the prize.
Hi Kristen, I miss you. How are you? It's so good to see you out there.
Is there a bingo link that is in the Discord, or I will also try to post it here. If y'all are in Discord, you can find it there. Thanks, Virginia. She's going to drop it in Discord, and then I will drop it in here. Hey, Jen. Oh, we got the OG. We got some OGs in here today. It's going to be lit, as Gray would say. These are some of our original, back in the days of the pandemic when we used to try to Twitch stream.
Elise, exact same. That shirt makes me think of Saved by the Bell every time too.
Isn't that cool?
Every single time. You designed this one, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that one's really good. We have two different versions of it. One is really bold like this, and then there are some other ones that have been printed and it's like faded. And they look kind of old. I don't know which I like better.
So here we go. There is the whoops, that's the YouTube link. And if you got that, you know where you are exactly. And then this is the bingo link. That should take you to a bingo card. Throw your name in there. We're playing to win a t-shirt today. I know. Don't click on the YouTube link or you'll just find yourself in an infinite regression of YouTube.
Hi, Jen Cox. Virginia. Everybody, this is good. This is a good one today. This is going to be fun.
And yeah, hit that thumbs up arrow. That helps us. Hit subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us. And our dumb dog is going to yell at us for a second.
I'm writing down your suggestions.
Okay. So
these are good.
Let's go back through.
Okay.
Here's some suggestions for the improv. What if Pastor Steve used AI to write a sermon? When is Hallie going to quit her job and become a trad wife?
Good question, Kristen.
The floods in Texas and tornadoes in the Midwest. Great. Clay Mason Bannerman and Popsicles are considering getting a hairless cat. Okay, great.
Fantastic.
And then I'm actually also going to pop over to Patreon, and these should go at the top of the list because Patreon people get preference in this community.
Lincoln misses Malady. Is Malady dead? What happened to her?
Wait, Malady. Wait, oh, Minka or Minga?
No, Lincoln said I miss Malady. Didn't you have a girlfriend named Malady?
Oh yeah, did I?
Hey sister.
Oh yeah, Malady.
Jen
I forget of all the girls of.
Oh, Lincoln said Malady went to prison.
Oh yeah,
Malady went to prison. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Malady went to prison. Oh, Malady was the soccer.
And wait, which one died? One of them died from a shark, right?
That was Minga. You gotta.
That's Minga. Okay, sorry, I gotta stop this dog. She's saying she wants to eat, which is good news. But
Minga. We had there's J Hat was a J Hat, Minga, Becky DeBupo, Malady, and then now Tiffer and Mickey, right? Has Gray had that many that many trysts, that many affairs? Hey, welcome in, y'all. We're about to improvise an episode. Holly's feeding our damn dog, and let's see what we got on. Let's see what the ye old Patreon had to say. OMG Minga. R.I.P. Minga, right? I think Minga got eaten by a shark. Minga. Was Minga real? That was the real question. Was she ever real? So yeah, throw welcome in, y'all. We're gonna improvise here in about 5 minutes. We're gonna do a live episode for you. And if you want to just go ahead and buy a Climax t-shirt, you can do that too. There's a link in the show notes here in the YouTube live, and there's also a link to our Patreon, which is always helpful. Minga's name is just British slang for ugly. Now I want Hallie to talk about catfish recipes. Not sure why. Also, the stalker from Don Protini's. Wait, what was the stalker from Don Protini's name? I'm mixing them all up now. Was that Malady? I got to go back and listen. Can't even remember our own stupid bits.
Okay, did I miss any? Do I need to write any?
So here are a few more from the chat in Patreon, and let's see. How about the idea that there might have been that Gray might have had a wardrobe malfunction.
Wait.
during his sermon or something, his message.
That Gray did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How about somebody said the song "You Won't Relent" by Misty Edwards, creepy lyrics, pretty song that sounds like a teenager wrote it. I gotta re-listen to the old "You Won't Relent." I'm not sure if that's ringing a bell.
Wait.
We could just reference that.
I'm kidding. Hallie talks about catfish recipes. And what's that last one you said?
"You Won't Relent" by Misty Edwards.
Wait, what is that?
It's just a song, but I don't know the lyrics. The idea of spiritual covering. Did you do that at your mega church? Spiritual covering?
No. What is spiritual covering?
Having the idea that does a person or ministry need spiritual covering? Spiritual covering is usually used in the context of the shepherding movement, though it could have other meanings. In the primary context, having a spiritual covering means being submitted to the authority of another Christian believer. Okay.
Whoa, that is like, isn't that like, that to me sounds like human trafficking. No, but isn't that like, that sounds like very, very culty, right?
Spiritual covering. Yeah, we can hit that. Let's see.
That is just
Malady.
like
Okay, Malady was the. Oh, where? Yeah. Okay. I had a stalker. Wait, the stalker's name was. I can't remember. God. Women only teach under a male spiritual covering. Oh, the umbrella thing too. Is that it, Kristen? Spiritual covering. Gray dated an unnamed woman in 2018 who didn't want to go to a mega church. Oh yeah, I've seen that spiritual covering umbrella. Okay, great. How about a super? There's a suggestion from somebody on Patreon. How about a super niche OnlyFans account of a groundskeeper who needs the gardening job at Twin Hills because her cam show content is a mixture of Mormon soaking and the fabled Amish one-hold sheet. Hallie, of course, is excited to learn a new gardening tip for watering houseplants. That's a spicy one.
Wait, but that would be Jamie. That would be Janie Meyer, the groundskeeper.
Well, there are multiple groundskeepers probably, or like, you know what I mean? Like people working on the grounds. She's the like head.
All the teens that she keeps on leashes.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Hallie is experiencing any perimenopausal symptoms.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So throw that one in. I like the idea that there would be a somebody on the grounds crew had an OnlyFans. That's great. Yeah, Jamie had a bunch of teens on a leash.
So they wouldn't be making out behind no trees. I think
if you're just jumping in, we're hey, it's Mega. We're going to improvise a episode of a fictional mega church podcast for you here in a second.
You know what I think that chat has made me realize lately is like how fucking perverted Hallie is. I think
and how much we don't remember of what we say.
That's true. Okay, and then wait, Gray dated an unnamed woman in 2018 who didn't want to go to a mega church.
Right, I do remember that.
Add it to the list. I recently saw some meme that had like a shot of every woman that Jerry dated on Seinfeld, and it was just like 75 women, and they were all like beautiful or hot or whatever, and it was like, what? And that we need to make that of
Gray,
of all the women that Gray has not touched but has done lots of Bible studies with. Women only teach under a male spiritual covering.
It's that umbrella imagery. Remember,
I know, like the hierarchy,
Jesus,
but Kristen, are you saying, is it because like I know a lot of churches don't want women to teach men. Women can only teach like other women or children.
Right. I believe in that too.
Definitely. Who wouldn't? But is that what you're saying, Kristen? That in spiritual covering, which would be the submitting to someone else's authority, that women can only submit to men. Nobody can ever submit to a woman. Is that what you're saying?
Had a pastor once who used his hand to look like an umbrella cover by his finger, other hand, and mimed a girl going from her father's covering to her husband's when she gets married. I like that. Like this.
I mean,
are you just going to Passover? Yeah. What are we going to talk about? We should have talked about Passover. Let's do that. Thanks, Annunciata. That's what a cool name, Annunciata. Planning for a summer teen mission trip to NYC or another satanic wasteland. That's great. That's a Gray also dated a former Climax teen for a short while. No, I didn't. Virginia, what? You lie.
Wait. So am I missing anything? Oh, Passover.
No, a former Climax teen. You're right. You're right. I think I did. Oh yeah, you're right. Way back in the early episodes, I think.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Gross.
But that was, I think, before we kind of like Gray had a handle on.
It's probably
before Gray didn't have a handle on his sexuality. And not like he does now.
Before he transitioned, like there was, I remember the day that we realized like
I know
Gray seemed really gay all of a sudden, and we were like, well, we're going with it. But it wasn't.
It wasn't early
there
on
in the beginning. No.
Yeah. I didn't. I'm sorry. I was errant. I thought you were doing a bit. And Gray does not know his sexuality. I guess Greg knows Gray's sexuality. Gray does not. Hi, I'm Greg.
You don't think Gray does at all?
He's in total denial.
Yeah.
Is Gray facing trouble?
But like, do you think when he goes to like,
we'll never know,
the Florida Keys and shit, like, is he like banging dudes and just like lying to himself that that's even happening, or is he not? Because I know that a lot of times as a queer person, you think you want to be like someone because you don't realize that that's what attraction is. So you're like, I want to be like that girl, instead of like, oh, I'm attracted to that girl. Like, is that what Gray's doing? Where he's like, oh, I'm so attracted.
Single white femaling.
No, in his mind, is he like turning the I'm attracted to men into like, oh, I want to be like that guy and that guy and that guy, not realizing that he's like, I want to fuck those guys. That's why he's like always bodybuilding. I don't know. I know the way it took me so long to figure out my shit because like I was so fucking repressed like him. Okay.
Gray has absolutely had circuit parties 2 states over, 2 states to the east. Does Day dress as in soft boy style? Lots of pastels and gentle colors. I bet that annoys Hallie.
Oh,
That's great. Maybe Day is starting to do soft boy stuff, listening to like lo-fi beats and being a soft boy.
Yes, that's so good.
Lots of vests. Lots of vests. And lots of just lots of like normcore. I love that. Millennial Pink Day. Yes. This is a ton. We have so much. I don't even know if we'll be able to get through all of these. Can you put it up here so I know what the hell we're talking about? Okay, folks, we are going to improvise through a bunch of these suggestions. We'll see how we can fit them together. Thanks so much for being here. So we're also playing bingo. The link is here. I'll put it back in the chat. Go get yourself a bingo card and you could win a t-shirt. Because we got 22 people in here, and I think that's quite enough to win a t-shirt. So
look at them titties.
If you I'm just turning into our OnlyFans. Please don't. No, please don't flag us for Holly saying, "Look at them titties."
My friend in real life just got like surveilled at her workplace, and a transcription of a conversation she had in her workplace by AI like appeared, like emailed to the entire workplace.
That was being recorded from the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Wow.
So be careful out there, y'all.
Be careful out there if you're joking and think that an AI wouldn't be able to tell it's a joke.
Can you imagine like doing a few bits with a friend and then a few hours later, like receiving your conversation transcribed in an email to your entire workplace?
No, but
that's terrifying. And they were doing very inappropriate bits. Oops. It's like, oopsie.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, we're going to record our way through, improvise our way through your suggestions here. Make sure we're rolling. And Holly, will you talk a little? Just
check, test, pop, pop.
Great.
Test, check, pop.
And hope y'all can hear us fine. And we're gonna show you how the sausage is made. We'll try to go straight through. We probably won't acknowledge the chat a whole lot as we go, just so that these end up as bonus episodes in our mainstream. If you're just tuning in, we're going to improvise, and you can also go follow Mega on all the things. Go sub to the podcast on your actual podcast app. That really helps us. And are you ready to try to win a t-shirt? Let's do it. Oh, sorry. I know I took a shower. Do you want me to put my hat back on?
It's just that one.
Why did I do this? Now I'm in gray mode.
The transformation is complete.
Okay, let's do it.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. Ooh, we love to introduce you to members of our church staff, people from our community. I always find it to be a treat and a treasure. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
Jesus is the king, and you know that is bling, Hallie. How are you?
So blessed. I am so happy to be here doing life together. This is an episode of Mega the Podcast that we are recording live on YouTube with our Patreon supporters giving us all the suggestions for today's conversation. And we're very grateful for those suggestions because we really do want to keep you abreast of what God is doing in our lives, in our walks with Christ.
You know, Hallie, I've started not saying abreast.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I like to say keeping you aware because, as you know, I am dating right now. And, you know, I'm not sure if I've mentioned him before, but my friend Clay Mason Bannerman and I, we're having some trouble with your mic.
Yeah, sorry, I had a little static there for a second. And how do I sound?
You sound great.
Fantastic.
So we add dating to awesome ladies. They're so awesome. They're so amazing. I'm so in love.
Tiffer
And
and Mickey and Tiff, are they the same or are they
totally
different?
different.
Totally
But
different people.
as far as we know, and I think that it's something that, when you say abreast, your brain just goes to the
Yep.
wrong places to get
And
back
men
to.
are very visual.
Men are so visual.
So
I'm
I'm
so
sure just
visual.
instantaneously, there's just this milky, maternal, big, beautiful, soft breast that
Hallie, and that's the thing. Let's
smells
just
like
say
warm
keeping you
vanilla.
aware.
Yes. I mean, it's the same amount of syllables. You lose nothing there. Then you don't have to have the visualization of, these life-giving, intriguing, beautiful glands that hang off the front of gals.
What are you talking about, Hallie?
I just really affirm your choice not to use that word. And I'm not even going to say the word because I don't want you to picture what's in that word that you've now struck from your vocabulary.
Right.
And, I've decided to strike all pronouns from my vocabulary
Oh, you
because,
have? Oh,
yeah,
that's good. I hate this pronoun stuff. What are we even talking about?
I know. And, my son Day was like, well, then you can't say you or we or
Oh,
anything
really?
like
Those are
that.
pronouns?
I guess I have to look up what a pronoun is, to be honest with you. But I'm a little bit nervous because, as you know, Steve this weekend, people were accusing him of having, you know, uh, used AI for a sermon. And
Here's the thing, Hallie. If that is true, I'm sure Steve trained the AI on all his sermons, right? That's how it works. You put in a bunch of other, your work or other people's work, and then
yes,
the AI
it's
is
it's collating your own work.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I think that's fine because Steve has been behind the pulpit for how many years now? I mean, dozens and
Well,
decades.
that's the other thing is that his voice has been recorded so many times saying every word in the English language that someone could use AI to make him say anything at this point.
Oh, I
And so
didn't
that
even
was
think
part
about
of the
that.
controversy of is it that people are mad that he used AI to write a sermon?
Right.
Or were they thinking that AI wrote Steve doing a sermon
Oh,
and
I
that
see.
wasn't even Steve at all?
A deep fake. Well, but Steve was still saying the sermon. Is that what is the controversy that Steve?
Well, I was there. I was producing that weekend service, and so I was with Steve, and he was there in person, and it was really him talking.
Okay, so it wasn't like a hologram or something. A deep fake Steve on stage.
How would I know if it's a hologram? Because you know what the truth of the matter is? I've never touched Steve physically.
I've never touched a hologram.
Do you know if you're touching a hologram that it's a hologram? Because I've seen like Abraham Lincoln as a hologram in the
where was
Springfield
that?
Museum. It's
Oh,
awesome.
really?
He walks up, he starts talking. It's Abraham Lincoln, and he's alive.
Oh, and there's no that, and you couldn't tell if you couldn't tell if that was real or not.
Well, I think it's kind of a beta technology that if it was Steve and it was like the Abraham Lincoln hologram, I would know the difference
Right.
for sure.
Well, just the smell. I mean, Steve smells amazing.
Oh, Steve smells like a mixture of cedar wood and a little bit of fresh citrus and a soapy, clean smell, and he runs 5 miles a day.
I know, it's like he sweats polo cologne. It's amazing.
It's so cool.
Anyway, but like I was saying, Hallie, it has been, apart from that, we have a kind of a chaotic week here because the AI sermon thing, I don't think that's a big deal. I had a bit of what would you call it? A wardrobe malfunction happen on stage.
Oh,
And it wasn't a big deal, but it was strange because have you seen the new shirts that I'm wearing, Hallie, where it's one giant pocket? It's a pocket tee, but it's a giant pocket.
Yeah, it's
that covers the
cool.
whole left side.
Yeah, you have one on right now.
Yeah, and you can fit your Yeti in there. You can fit
That's
your
so
phone.
cool.
I keep my phone, my Yeti.
You have that small, portable, campfire that you take around with you that you can even set on a table, and it's like everyone's sitting around the fire.
Oh, yeah, the little marshmallow that you can roast marshmallows on.
Yes.
I do that for leadership meetings sometimes where I'm like, let's gather around the fire and really, talk. So I'll keep just, cool stuff in there that I can pull out. just some meat if I'm hungry.
I did see that you had loose turkey in there.
Yeah.
Just
So
some deli turkey?
well, I didn't have anything in it when I went to go on stage and give my message last Wednesday to the teens, but something happened where the pocket got caught on a mic stand, and I turned around really fast, and it just ripped the pocket right off and sort of
So
exposed my whole nipple area,
oh, no.
and sort of under nipple and side nipple, and it was just kind of like the whole side of my shirt just ripped off.
Just more than you would want some teens to be seeing on a Sunday.
Well,
That's what you're saying?
and that's not the problem, Hallie, because I'm not going, hey, look at this. I'm not showing it to the teens. It just happened. And I'm hoping that I could turn around and use that as a teaching moment and say, hey, look, I'm not embarrassed of my body. I work really hard to get it to look like this. And maybe you should also think about thinking of your body as a temple, and go to the gym and stop eating so much friggin' sugar. All they want to do is come to church and eat sugar.
Gray, it really does grieve the heart of God. What concerns me with a wardrobe malfunction in a room full of hormonal adolescents is that, I don't know what your nipple looks like because I wasn't there for the wardrobe malfunction. But, depending on its coloration, is it darker? Is it lighter? Is it big? Is it small? You got a couple of dimes up front, or you got quarters, or have you got big pepperonis, maybe a couple of big old bolognas or salamis? And depending on how much hair you have around the nipple or hairless the nipple is, there's going to be somebody in there who likes whatever you got.
Well,
somebody might like a bald bologna. Somebody else might like a hairy little dime,
what? I don't like any of that, Hallie. I just am saying that I guess I'm keeping everyone abreast of the situation, and I can use
Aware.
it. Well, I can use it in that context because this is something that
Oh,
I
it's
think,
literally.
and it's a male nipple, Hallie. It's not a big deal.
That's right.
It's
I
a
mean,
completely different thing, isn't it?
yes, it's so different when it's on a boy. Like, even like when a boy dog's, red lipstick comes out. It's
What?
like, that's okay. It's a boy, it's whatever. Now, if you would
What
see
dog
any
are dogs
part of a
wearing lipstick?
woman, that would be obscene.
What dogs are wearing lipstick? I don't understand.
Oh, well, you probably don't know this, Gray, because you're not married yet, so you're not thinking about these things like these body parts. But dogs have a body part between their back legs that sometimes
What?
it becomes a red, fully extended lipstick tube.
What?
Yeah. It's like
What is it?
there's red lipstick
What?
in between a male dog's legs. Sometimes it comes out like, if you probably don't know this because you don't wear makeup, but like if you turn a lipstick tube, the red, it will go all the way up, like the lipstick red tube.
What?
And that's between the male dog's legs.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Hallie. Okay. So let's go ahead and move off of that topic because I didn't like it, but let's also talk about what's going on in our personal lives.
Well, you know what? I have had to really hit my knees this week and really throw myself before our Heavenly Father and just beg for wisdom and guidance as a Christian parent, because it's a challenge, Gray, to be trying to bring up godly kids in such a wicked,
I
wicked
know.
world.
It's exhausting.
And my daughters are always trying to put me in this place. That Day really is always trying to give me
Ugh.
this cognitive Christian dissonance, or whatever
Ugh.
you call it, because they're saying things like, Mom, technically, if you want to be a godly wife, you would be a trad wife. And I had to Google what trad wife means.
Trad wife. Oh, I love trad wife stuff. That like sometimes when like Tiffany and I want to just like dream about the future, we'll just like go on YouTube, or we'll go on TikTok, and we'll just watch trad wife videos, and they're so cool. They're
Oh,
so cool.
really? Oh, cool. It's like inspo for when you're dreaming
yeah.
about like being in love with your husband someday and being married to each other.
Yeah, it's just like it's this whole movement of ladies who are beautiful, who love God, who love the Bible, who just want to have a
Awesome.
lot of babies and
Oh,
farm turnips.
wow, that is so awesome. Doing things like canning your own fruit
They
and
do
things like
that.
that.
They're really against just the trappings of modern life, which I think is great.
Are they
Although it's
making
kind
their
of
own cookies from scratch and not
yeah,
using a
sourdough. They always make sourdough. They're always
what?
praying. It's
Oh,
kind of
no.
weird that you find out about it through TikTok, which seems pretty modern to me. And also, a lot of them, don't love vaccines, obviously. But I think it's just really, really cool.
But do trad wives like to go to Macaroni Grill?
You know what? I wouldn't. I feel like macaroni grill is a traditional because it's family style. So
Oh,
they'll
then
do anything family style.
oh, cool. So, like, if I'm a trad wife, I can go to Buca de Beppo because that's family style.
Totally.
And
And Dom Protini's always family style.
okay, cool.
Have you
Then
gotten the new protein trough? Now you can get a protein trough at Dom Protini's. Have you been?
oh, where they actually bring well, I know they actually let you eat the ice cream out of a kitchen sink, and
Exactly.
they bring you a sundae as big as a kitchen sink, and then at Don Protini's, they bring a sink, a kitchen sink to your table, and it is the bowl that's
It
filled with ice cream, and
it
the
is
ice cream is all
it's all
protein.
protein ice cream, but I still don't eat it just because I don't like the idea of ice cream.
I ate the whole kitchen sink.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, now they do these protein troughs where you can get a trough for the table and it's $10 for a trough for the table,
It
which is amazing. I mean, where can you go anyway to eat a $10 trough anymore?
That is a great price to feed the whole family, and you know what? I feel like modern society and progressives and liberals are pulling the family away from the table, where that is where, God wants us to have our meals together as a family so that we can be establishing our virtues in each other and having conversations and making sure that, we're supporting each other in our Christian walks. And, it's just really, it's really, really important. But
But were you
if
saying that your kids were saying that you're a trad wife?
they were saying, "Why don't you quit your job and be a trad wife?" Because that's what, like, the biblical woman would do, and I was like,
Well, you're
"Well,
too old to be a trad wife, Hallie.
is that right?"
I mean, you got to be like you have to have a floppy hat and you have to be hot.
Well, this is the thing. I don't think I have gone through menopause because, I heard that you have all these symptoms when you go through menopause and you've experienced them physically, and I have never felt anything in my body ever, like, at all. Like, sometimes I've felt like a little
Really?
bit of a headache and I take an Advil or 2,
Oh,
but
you've never felt anything
I've
like.
not never felt any physical sensations, definitely beneath my neck, of my whole body.
Oh, really?
So, I either wouldn't know if I had had any symptoms whatsoever simply because I think basically I don't even live inside my body.
Oh, that must be
I'm
nice.
like, I'm somewhere up there in the sky
Well, we are
above
not
my
of this
physical
world, are we,
body, and I'm mostly
Hallie?
observing stuff happen to me. Is that sort of, I can't really explain it. Often it feels like I'm dreaming, even though I'm in real life. And maybe that's brain fog. And I don't
Hmm.
think brain fog is like a symbol of anything like perimenopause or anything. And I'm against perimenopause too. I won't even consider it and won't go through it because I know too many people have used it as a drag queen name.
Oh,
And so I won't have anything to do with it.
perimenopause is a drag queen name?
Yeah, it's the most used drag queen name, and
Is it?
so
Oh,
I'm
sick.
not gonna do it because I don't even wanna be associated with that. But anyway, I don't think I could be a trad wife, not because I'm, old, but because I can't make things from scratch. Like, I'm gonna use, like, a muffin mix, okay? I'm
Mhm.
gonna, get the big Toll House cookies in a bucket that I just throw the frozen little globs onto the cookie sheet and put it in the oven.
Right.
And if I have to make stuff from scratch or make my own frosting, because no, I'm gonna go get a cream cheese whipped frosting from, Betty Crocker. And if that means I can't be a trad wife, then I guess I can't be a
Yeah,
trad
you can't be a
wife.
trad wife if you're doing that, Hallie. I've seen videos of trad wives who, when they go out to family style type restaurants, they will say, "I still have to serve my family," and they will make sure that they are bringing the food to the table so that the family can really see the example of Christian service as shown by a mother, even at a restaurant. Isn't that awesome? And I'm
Oh,
sure if you're a server, you're going, "Hey, thanks, as long as I get a tip," right?
oh, it takes a load off. The server
Yes.
gets a break. Wow. And most Christian moms are twos on the Enneagram, so it really fills them up to take care of everybody around them. And
yeah.
so it's like when you let your mom serve you and do everything for you, you're actually kind of doing her a favor, aren't you?
You are. But the other day, Hallie, you came in with what was that whole thing where you came in with the Tupperware where you were like catfish for the office? Because it seems like you've been cooking lately.
Well, I have a great catfish recipe that involves tagine.
Okay, what's that?
Tagine, Tajin, tagine,
Oh, it sounds exotic.
tagine. I don't know honestly how to say it, but you can get it in the ethnic section of the grocery store.
Oh, tagine. I thought you were talking about another drag queen.
And then I mix that with some other stuff I get in the spice section, like for different like steak rubs and stuff.
You're putting steak rub on a catfish?
Yes. And I'm trying to find new types of protein that my husband, Lance Labont, can eat because, as you know, he lives on a purely animal protein diet. And because he is a victim of Lyme's disease and a survivor of Lyme's disease, which I guess is always in your body, he now has developed a food allergy to all animal protein.
Oh, and does fish
So I'm
not?
trying to do a catfish, recipe so that because catfish aren't animals, they're fish.
Oh,
And so I'm like trying to get him to eat it, but he doesn't like the flavor because what he likes to do is he likes to make a burger on the grill and then 2 chicken breasts, and then he uses the chicken breasts as buns on his burger
oh,
and
that
eats
seems
it
like a
like
lot of protein,
that.
a lot of animal protein.
And he can't do that anymore. That's why I've got this new catfish rub where you take steak rub, you mix it with tagine, and then you can broil it, you can boil it, you can fry it, you can saute it. I just throw it in my air fryer.
Okay. And then but then why did you bring a whole bucket of it to the office? Because
Oh,
Lance won't eat it?
he won't eat it, and I
Oh.
have so much catfish. It's like, and my kids won't touch it neither because, my daughter said that the front of a catfish face looks like some kind of scary vagina, and it's
What?
got these like pubes coming off of
Which
its
daughter?
face. The one who has really been devouring the catfish, just like shoving her face in it and like eating it, like practically licking its face, because I leave some of the fish faces on these things,
Oh my.
Next thing I know, my daughter, the one who's I'm always having to like drag her out of the bathroom. She's locking herself in there with the side of the bathtub every day and then just shoving her face into a fried fish.
Isn't that the daughter that you also had to cut off from drinking so much kombucha?
Yes, because kombucha is a gateway drug. It teaches women how to.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So, Hallie, I just want to go back to this whole catfish thing in Lance because, as we know, Lance is a survivor and he, needs a lot of support right now.
Yeah,
But
he is a survivor.
you have to remember, Hallie, that in your household, Lance is the top. He's the one at the top, and above him is only Jesus. And Lance is holding an umbrella, and you're holding somewhere beneath the umbrella. You might be below that.
Yep.
And then all your kids and Day, all your daughters and Day or whatever are somewhere below that. But when it comes to, who is calling the shots, the only person above Lance is Jesus. And so if Lance doesn't like catfish, I'm sorry, but I just really think that you need to submit to his authority and find a different thing that you can cook.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find something else that is
you can put
protein,
in an air fryer.
that I could put in an air fryer that is, going to meet all of Lance's requirements at this point. I don't know, but you know what? I wish that at a Home Goods or at a Hobby Lobby that you could get some word art for the home that is that umbrella graphic, because I have never found anything so helpful
Yes.
and easy to understand that like the top umbrella is God and Jesus and the dominion of his authority over our lives, and then our pastor, and then our husband, and then the wife, and then the children.
Yes.
Frankly, I'm just so happy to have such big umbrellas over me because guess what? I ain't never gonna get wet with all these guys on top of me. But But I just think if I could get that umbrella word art and umbrella art made, like maybe with a cool French kind of design, like it's one of
Oh,
those like
yeah.
cool French or Italian posters that people put in their kitchen that are, these like prints that you can get at IKEA or
Yeah.
whatnot.
And
Cause
I just love, or like distressed. I love anything distressed. I love distressed jeans. I love distressed shirts. I love distressed word art. I love distressed.
furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
cool.
I think,
Cause you go antiquing, that stuff's really
and
distressed.
it's probably why I can deal with, having a lady friend is because she's always distressed, but that's just being a woman, isn't it?
Well, women are so emotional
Oh, I
and
know. It's
sensitive. We're
weird.
made to, have all these feelings and, periods and like pain, and
Yeah. Anyway,
it's just and men, it's why they can be better leaders and all of that is because they
back to the umbrella.
yep, 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 yep.
Hallie, uh, when
And
I think
also
about,
another reason why I won't quit my job to be a trad wife is that maybe it's not terribly biblical for me to be a career woman. That's true. But I work at a mega church.
that's right.
And I volunteer and I'm in a small group and I am checking all the boxes that are really required to keep us accountable. And accountability inside um the life of trying to be like Jesus.
Mm,
It's so hard. We are called to be like Jesus, and yet Jesus was perfect. And
I know.
we're human, or as I like to say, nobody's nerfect,
What?
So we're trying to be like this perfect thing. We're trying to be Christ-like. We are Christ followers. And yet we stumble, don't we?
We
We
do
make
every
mistakes
day.
from time to time. Even a man of God, trips and falls from time to time. He falls right into a sex worker or right into maybe his assistant who is young and voluptuous, and he stumbles in the flesh, but he can be restored through the restorative power of what Jesus did on the cross.
Sometimes I've been saying this lately, and I think you're a perfect example of it, Hallie, which is how about less me time and more he time?
Now that's a pronoun I can get behind.
Isn't it awesome? Because when I start thinking that, who am I doing this for? If the answer isn't Jesus, then I've got to reevaluate, don't I?
Yeah, it's so true, and that's why sometimes people from outside the faith will be like, "Oh, it's so creepy that you're all submitting to each other's, like, personal authority and stuff." But, we have something called spiritual covering
That's
or
right.
shepherding, to be like Jesus, where we are, um, Christians will submit themselves to a certain person's authority. Maybe a man of God above them can tell a woman how to dress so that she's not causing men to stumble in the flesh and all that stuff. And I also just wanna say, as we're talking about accountability inside Christianity, you know, um, I think that that's also why liberals call us hypocrites.
They,
Is that like we're technically the only people who can be hypocrites because we are trying to be like something we are not. We are trying to be like Christ.
snap, Hallie. Wow. I've never heard you quite phrase anything that's so pithy.
Did I make
Wow.
a good point?
I mean, you did for
Well, that's
you.
bad because I'm not supposed to be really like teaching you anything as a man because I'm a woman. And
Right.
that's kind of the idea of spiritual covering is it's like the umbrella is
Yeah,
that like
actually, now
we
that I
are
think about it,
covered by men so that we don't get wet.
right. Now that I think about it, actually, I'm not sure if I learned anything from that, but
Oh,
I
okay,
think that's
good.
a
Then it's
good,
okay.
yeah, maybe a self-teaching moment. Or as my
Mm,
kids say, you self-owned, didn't you?
that's cool. That's really
I mean,
cool.
there's a lot, in my personal life, Hallie, I've been struggling with this a lot because, and I did mention him before, but my friend Clay Mason Vanneman and I, what is wrong with your mic today?
There must be something in my wire or something.
Your wire?
Let me turn the thing in there. Can you hear me? Test, test, check, check, pop, pop.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay, great.
Anyway, I did mention this, but Clay Mason does have this new neighbor,
Oh yeah, Donovan Geo,
Donovan
the
Geos.
catchphrase artist in Underpants.
That's right, and he's always, He's always kind of showing up unexpectedly, and he's always in his underpants, and, his wife runs. He lives across the street, and
His wife runs? His
what?
wife? He's
His
married?
No, I didn't say wife.
I thought you said his wife runs.
His wife runs.
Oh, wife runs.
His wife runs.
Those are the underpants.
I mean, if he had a wife, she'd be very small because he's tiny, but
that would be a Y front, not a Y front.
A Y front, Hallie. He wears those types of
No, I'm saying a tiny wife.
A tiny wife what?
Would be a Y front.
That's what I'm saying. She's not small like that. He doesn't have a wife. That's half the problem.
Yeah, why can't he put some pants on?
I don't know. And it's been a huge issue because I don't feel like I can tell another guy what to wear. I mean, if he was a lady, I'd be like, you can't wear that. You shouldn't wear that. Why are you wearing that? That's going to bring in a lot of trouble into your life.
That's so helpful to women.
But for some reason, this guy, Donovan Gio, we've got Tiffer and Mickey and Donovan Gio. And now it's like we're this little band. And Donovan Gio will just show up when we're trying to have a double date or whatever. But it's just become a problem because, Tiffer and Mickey are our lady friends. And Donovan Gio has become this backdoor friend who kind of just shows up.
Backdoor friends are best.
And then, which, which Clay has in his house.
As word art.
But it's kind of one of those things of like, it's Tiffer and Mickey and Donovan Gio, and that, they come in the front and he comes in the patio.
I like to say that Clay Mason Bannerman has two Porsches. He's got a front Porsche and a back Porsche. But
what?
You call it a patio. What do you call in Australia? What do you call a pizzeria?
A pizzeria?
Oh, a pizzeria. Okay.
It's kind of the area where you have pizza.
That's fantastic. Oh, I'm starving. Pizza sounds delicious.
Anyway, so, Clay has been building all these decks on his house. It's awesome. He's got a top deck, bottom deck, side deck. And Donovan Gio will just come out and he's like, and he's got all these catchphrases. So he'll pop in the backdoor patio and be like, I think you're looking for me. And then he'll go up to the top deck to sunbathe or whatever. And
what?
Clay
Is he
just
like Bathsheba?
I don't know. If a guy could be Bathsheba, I guess it is Donovan Gio because he's just so annoying and Clay won't tell him to go home. And I'm like, you got to tell this guy to leave. And he's like, well, I don't want to be rude. And he's like, it's Donovan Gio. And I'm like, we don't know him that well. And he's always hanging out.
You know what? I'm going to put you on the top of my prayer list, my brother in Christ, because I think this could be the evil one. Like, I don't know why this guy does not have pants on, and it makes me extremely uncomfortable.
He says they're not Y fronts. He says, these are my shorts. And I'm like, those aren't shorts. Look at them. They are Y fronts. So he that's just what he wears.
I just do want to continue to point out that I take issue with calling them catchphrases if no one else is saying them.
Exactly.
He's just saying annoying things. He's just annoying.
I think you're looking for me has kind of become the one he's settled on. I think you're looking for me. And we're like, no, we weren't. We were about to have a barbecue with Tiffer and Mickey, but we're waiting for Mickey to show up.
Oh, you still haven't been with them both together, huh?
Have we? Let's see. I guess we did have a barbecue the other week, but Mickey was running late and then Tiffer had to leave early. So no, I guess we haven't. But they're definitely different because what we've noticed, Hallie, is Tiffer, no freckles, Mickey, freckles.
Oh, but you can do freckles with a brown eyeliner pen.
What?
A brown eyeliner. You just give yourself, they're called friendly features.
What?
I only know this because my son Day is a soft boy now.
Oh, and he's painting freckles on his face?
He put on soft freckles because they're friendly features, and he's wearing these soft pastel colors. I'm going to tell you something right now that grieves the heart of God so bad I can hardly say it out loud, but he came downstairs, my son Day, in front of me and my husband Lance Labont, who were just trying to have a nice catfish omelet for breakfast. Ugh. And Day shows up in light pink fingernail polish.
What?
And I went through the roof. He said,
Yeah.
"I'm a soft boy. It's this like gentle kind of like, a man who is man enough to both have the male genitalia and the XY chromosomes and still have feelings and still have empathy and care about people and like soften his existence and like think about things like understanding and communication and putting yourself in other people's shoes and like wearing these like gentle things and having this whole vibe." And I talk about your wardrobe malfunction. I went at him with a pair of kitchen scissors and was trying to cut the clothes off of him as if he had been wheeled into the ER and needed immediate surgery. And they start cutting all your clothes off.
Oh, that sounds safe.
Actually, I can't talk about it anymore. It's too upsetting.
Well, you've talked about it a lot. I mean, this whole soft boy, I had not really heard that term soft boy, but if I had a soft boy around, I would probably use some hard love. And, he would probably.
That's what men need. They need hard love. They need it hard.
Yeah, tough love. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Donovan Geo is a soft boy, but he's definitely something like it. He's like an annoying. What's an annoying boy?
Someone who nobody's looking for.
No one's looking
Geo
for
Donovan.
Donovan Geo, and he's so.
Donovan Geo.
And the problem is, I don't think he even works, Hallie, because as I said last time, his dad invented the Geo, the car, so he's got a lot of money for somebody who invented kind of a poor consumer grade car. And so he never works. He's always sunbathing. He's always saying his catchphrase. And then the other week, I mean, he was up on, he brought two, do you know what a turntable is, Hallie? Like a DJ deck?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Well, he says he's a DJ. He brought that up to Clay's roof deck. And he was up there going, I think you're looking for me. And like Clay is like, it's fine. I'm like, we live in a quiet neighborhood, or Clay does. And you can't be doing that. You're going to get, Clay lives in kind of a gated community. I mean, there's a gate around it.
Wow. A gated community?
A gated community.
That sounds really close to gay community.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
I always think about that with the word homeowner. It starts with homo, and I always am like, a homeowner. Oh, you know what I mean?
I've never thought about that.
Is that the day that your barbecue got rained out?
Yeah, which was on the same day as Passover, and here's the thing. I thought it would be fun to take everything from, Clay was doing a mixed babby of just like a bunch of different meats. And I was like, hey, Clay, and I took some blood from one of the tri-tips and I rubbed it over the door.
That is awesome.
And I was just like, hey, just, because we have a Passover barbecue every year. And I was like, hey, maybe this will keep Donovan Geo from showing up. It didn't.
Oh, I think you're looking for me showed up to a Passover BBQ.
He said, I think you're looking for me. And he was wearing little angel wings. And I was like, like like he was the angel of death, I guess, was like his. But he still came through the doorway. But you know what? I didn't put the blood on the back door, and he came. See? That's how he got through the patio.
See? But I love that you're bringing the Bible to life, frankly. And I think it's so cool when we in a mega church have like where we appropriate different Jewish traditions and we do them to try to understand like the experience of Jesus more. And there's symbolism in everything. Like you have to eat something bitter because it was hard in the desert, and you have to
wear something borrowed, something blue.
Yes. And then you pretty much basically understand the like full Jewish experience.
And I know, isn't that awesome? I love it when we can pick and choose from some of those traditions and kind of make them better, honestly.
Yeah. And you can't pass over the Passover.
No.
It's a great story in the Bible. My son Day protests that it sure has a lot of dead babies for being so epically wonderful. Like it, seems like a total genocide. And I'm like, not from the angel of death. I mean, it's an angel. And guess what? Those babies got to go straight to heaven, which I'm jealous of them. But it's been raining so much. because I mean, there are floods in Texas, there are tornadoes in the Midwest. We are having all this like violent extreme weather. My daughter says to me, "Mom, this is climate change." And I'm like, "Nah, it's spring. March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb, or vice versa, and all that."
Right. And the climate changes all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the weather system that God created. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
So true.
it is hard when that God does use things like weather. He used a cloud to lead the Israelites in the desert. He used a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day,
He
and
used a pillar of salt to,
he puts earthquakes in California because of
change.
how much wickedness is out there, and we
Yeah.
know that's how it works. But it is so strange when good Christ-fearing communities get hit with things like tornadoes and stuff, because that could also be like the way God tested Job, essentially just to win a card game with Lucifer while they were, and God was
Yeah.
like, check out how much this dude loves me. Let's see how much we can torture him just for fun. But I believe in God's ultimate loving, good-natured character,
Yeah.
even though sometimes you got to suffer. And so maybe that's why, um, you know, tornadoes hit churches, and sometimes bad things happen to Christian people. I hope Hallie had cognitive dissonance on the bingo card.
Well, I think that I think there is something to Hallie, and I think it was Nelson Mandela said, "One bad apple spoils the bunch." Right?
Yes, and if you want to get a fresh apple, you don't go to the barrel, you go to the tree.
Exactly.
That's
So
what Nelson Mandela said.
it could be a godly place, but there could be a bad apple there. And so sometimes I think selective tornadoes are a way of God being like, "Hey, I also, that Nelson Mandela quote rings true to this day."
Well, speaking of all the rain and the weather and everything, and my favorite elderly member of our Twin Hills community, Janie Meyer, we gotta everybody put her on the top of your prayer list, because a scandal flew through the groundskeeping ministry of Twin Hills
Oh,
this
really?
week
What was
when
it?
we had one of our kids on a rope who is volunteering on the groundskeeping ministry. um this 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 kid, this employee of the church, had an OnlyFans page.
What?
Do you know what that is?
Well, I know Godly Fans, which is a Christian creator site that I do subscribe to a few different content creators, but no, I've never heard of OnlyFans. I've never heard of it. I've never really heard of that. It's so what a weird kind of I don't think I've ever heard of that. Nope. Can't think of a thing. I can't think of that I've ever heard of that. I don't think. Let me think. Nope. Nope. Never heard of it.
Oh, the lady doth protest too much, methinks.
What does that
I
mean?
just got that in my head. Strangely, I was helping my daughter memorize some of her lines. She's going to be in a Shakespeare play at
Oh, which
school.
daughter?
The one who keeps wearing Doc Martens with tights and a tie, a
Is,
man's tie.
is that sort of a Shakespeare look?
Mm-hmm. Because Shakespeare had like a ruffle, like a neck brace ruffle,
Oh, yeah.
which is probably a soft boy look. So I can expect it from any day now.
Well, I don't know about this whole OnlyFans. Is that the word you said?
I don't know what
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans
Okay.
is either. It's some kind of, I don't know if it's dirty porno. I don't know if it's something that people use online to trap Christians and try to make them look like hypocrites, because, we're, by the very nature of following Christ, we're trying to be something other than we are. And so they want to try to make us look bad by, pointing out when somebody, you know, uh, stumbles online and looks up some, like late in life lesbians or something, like
I know,
the stuff they try to put on Mark Driscoll, and these guys saying that they're, Googling girls kissing and stuff.
well, I mean, remember when they said Steve had accidentally tweeted late in life lesbians big knockers, and which I don't even know what that means. And then he was like, his Twitter got hacked.
Mhm.
And that happens all the time
It really
around
does. It
here.
happens to Christians, and that's why you just had to cancel a climax trip to New York City because as much as you wanted to show the kids like the fun, hip, cool,
I'm
relevant,
not taking him to New York anymore.
yeah,
Yep.
and why?
A- and why? And
NYC.
why?
But do you want to
And
say
why?
why you're
See?
not going to take and why are you going to NYC?
Because guess what, Hallie? I just don't feel like, and I hate to say this because it really pains me, but I just don't think we can do the best work in New York. Last time we were there,
grieves the heart of God.
We tried to do this really fun thing, which was I dressed up all the teens as clowns, and we did this thing in Central Park where we did little skits about things like drug use and prostitution, just a few different things where they would dress up as clowns and kind of go do mime stuff. And I just really felt like no one would pay attention to it. All these people are so lost, they're so scared. And even when you're doing little skits about like voting in AIDS and stuff, it's just like they don't even listen.
It's dangerous to go to New York City simply because of the like artists per square inch.
Oh yeah,
Because
true.
the thing about artists is they think that art with a message is propaganda, and so they won't do it, and they avoid being Christian artists. And so places like New York, there are these concentrated place of all of these like wicked artists who eschew God's love because they think that God's love is going to turn their art into, bad art, crap, drivel, trivializing your faith by, putting it on a t-shirt.
I think there's something too, Hallie, and I just said, you know what we're doing this year? We're going on a missions trip to Waco. Because I think
Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Waco is
so
a place where there are people who, honestly, there are people there who want to hear the message of Jesus.
Isn't that right?
And there's also this really cool new water park there that it's got a wave pool. And so I was just kind of like, let's go to Waco. Let's be able to have like a day of doing the clown skits or whatever, but then we can all go to this water park, which will be really fun.
I love a Christian water park.
Oh, me too.
I mean, I bet Chip and Joanna have that on the Magnolia campus at this point. You can go and get Christian cupcakes, Christian, word art for your house, clocks that are bigger than any clock should ever be allowed to be.
A big clock.
Oh, just fill up a whole wall with a big Christ clock.
We don't know the time or the hour, but you do know it when you have a big clock on the wall, don't you?
I feel like all this rain is really activating my allergies lately. So if you see me rubbing my eyes or chewing too much, it's not that I'm sick. I don't got the COVID or anything like that. I just have allergies, and I was thinking about me. Potentially getting a hairless cat. Because
what a segue, Hallie.
My Frenchies and my corgis, they don't bother me at all. I have no allergies to dogs because, I love biscuit and pancake and waffle and hash brown.
You have so many dogs. More dogs than daughters or more daughters than dogs?
Well, it feels like I have more daughters than dogs because it's so easy to have dogs because you know why? They always love you. When your teens are looking at you and like, Mom, I hate you because you won't let me dress like a boy. Or Mom, I hate you because you're making fun of the way I'm shoving my face into this fish. Guess what? My dogs, my Frenchies and my Corgis, they're looking up at me, wagging their little rumps and looking at me with eyes of love, like they're in love with me. I mean, my husband Lance Labont doesn't even look at me the way my dogs look at me.
I mean, can you imagine like that type of love, that type of unconditional love is probably how we're all going to be looking at Jesus when we get to heaven. And it's probably how God looks at us every single day. And we just don't even, we don't even give God a treat, as it were.
I think it's, you know what? It's beautiful how, even like how Clay, I feel like it's the way Clay looks at his grandson, Popsicles.
Well, it's his son, kind of.
Well, it's his son's son. So technically that's his grandson.
Well, Popsicles wanted to get a cat, and we said absolutely not, because all of Clay's furniture is white.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Like his house is like you're always in a white party.
And yes, well, except when Donovan Gio comes over, and he's basically orange at this point because he's just put so much coconut oil on himself to go up to the roof.
So no cat for Popsicles.
Oh yeah, no cat for Popsicles, because it's just, it's going to shed everywhere, and everything in Clay's house is white. Every piece of furniture, the rugs, the walls.
Well, what if Popsicles finds out about hairless cats?
Well,
you should get Popsicles a hairless cat.
We don't want Popsicles to find out about a lot of things, Hallie. That was an episode.
We did every single
Look at
one
that.
of them. I scratched them out. It was so satisfying. I love being able to cross things off a list. Ooh, it felt so good.
Thanks for.
Were y'all having fun in there?
Were y'all having fun?
Oh, that was so good. Thank you. That was so fun. I'm sorry. I really took a left turn and shoved in the Popsicles thing at the last minute.
I love how you're really like, we gotta get. That was you really had to get hairless cat in there.
I was determined to use every single suggestion, and I thought I had some thoughtful transitions, and that was not one.
Thank you so much, y'all. Yeah, we found out a little bit more today, and so please, if you won bingo, if you were the first one to win, I don't know who won, but please send me a message over Discord, and and I will send you a T-shirt. But if you were the first one to say bingo, and then if anybody else would like a sticker in the mail, I'll send you a sticker.
Yeah, you can have stickers. Anyone in here, you can have stickers. I'll send them to you. Hey, Virginia,
so send us
that's
a message
so funny.
in the Discord. I'll send you some stickers if you weren't the first bingo. But it seems like Riley was first, so Riley wins this dope climax. Not this one, but
this exact one with my pit smell in it. No, Virginia said when you talk lipstick on dogs, you got to bring up covered in them. That was amazing. I don't know why I didn't do my favorite improv bullshit, which is to just keep saying it over and over as many times as you'll say it. But when you did not get the dog dick, dirty dog dick lipstick, I could have done that all day.
I will see if there is a Twin Hills shirt. Those were a limited run. I think the only place
you can have this one.
Yeah, if you want this.
If you want this one, I'll send it to you.
They are still on TeePublic, but I think these were some first run shirts. But yeah, send me your address, and I will. I'll see what we can do.
Will this one fit you? If not, we can't get these made anymore?
No, you can through TeePublic. I just don't have a physical one to send.
Okay, I'll send this one if you don't care about. I'll put baking soda in the armpits or something. I don't think it's stinky.
There's so little station identification here at the end. Yeah, all the swag and new swag there's a link in our in the show notes if you want to go get some. There's some cool new shirts in there. There's a Don Protini shirt.
I want that one. I like that design.
There's a De La Bont.
Greg designed that one, and I think it's so good. It looks like an actually cool T-shirt.
And all sorts of stuff. And then also you can help us a ton by giving this a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. And we're going to try to do these weekly. And we're kind of trying to find a consistent time, but it seemed like a bunch of people were able to jump in here today. 24 of you in here right now.
Ooh.
And that rules. It really, really helps us to have you watch and to send the show to your friends.
Ooh, Virginia, I have the De La Bont for President one too. I have it in a long sleeve black tee, and it's my gym tee, and I love it. And I'm always like, people must be like, what the hell is that?
And the last thing is all the suggestions that we used today came from both the chat and also the sort of the first ones that we grab onto.
These were great. I love doing it like this.
Yeah, me too. We'll be Patreon members.
It's so fun.
Become a Patreon member. It's only $5 a month, and you get ad-free episodes. You will get heads up about stuff that we're up to. You get our behind the scenes podcast, and you just get the great joy of supporting us, which is always nice.
Thanks for
welcome to the Patreon, Elise. Thank you so much. That really
really was. Thank you for being here. We look forward to it, and it's really, really fun. It's really fun.
Anything else who do we have a new episode coming out tomorrow in the main feed, and also we've got some great guests coming up. So I hope you all are all caught up on the podcast, and of course, just tell a friend about it. That's the word of mouth is, how Christianity spread. So tell somebody the good news of Mega. That would always help us a ton. Anybody else got anything? One of us. Hell yeah.
Can we go back and read what they were chatting during it?
Yes, we can.
We can?
Yeah.
I want to read the comments because they're so funny. Everyone in here is so funny, and it has good laughs in it.
Thanks for joining us, you all. We'll see you in a week, and have a great rest of your weekend. And you can watch the whole thing back. I'll post this on the YouTube.
Do you all like this time better?
And yeah, let us know in the Discord if you like this time, or if you have other times that could work for you. Sub to the channel.
What time are we doing it next week?
Don't know yet. So if people want us to try a Friday or really or early or a better time, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know in the Discord. Y'all the best.
Bye, friends. Mwah, 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 mwah.